Welcome back to Java series. So in this video you will be learning about control statements or decision making statements. Now, if you want to vote, for the elections, what are the conditions or what are the eligibility criteria? The main criteria is you must be greater than 18, right? This is the first main criteria which need to be passed. If you are greater than 18, then you are applicable to vote, else you are not applicable to vote. Now, how will I make my system to understand about the voting procedure? The criteria to be followed is if your age is greater than 18, then a person can vote, else he cannot vote, right? Now, I want to make my system understand about this voting criteria. This is possible via control statement. That is, we have a different control statements like if else, nested if, and ladder if. The first is if. Let me switch to editor. Now, let me take int age equals to 18, right? So what I'll do, I want my system to understand the voting procedure. So I will write a condition. If age greater than or equal to 18, then I'll print the statement. That is system dot out dot system dot out dot println where they are eligible to vote. Clear? Now remove the unused braces. Clear? So this is my if condition. The first control statement is if. Clear? If age is greater than, sorry, yeah. If age is greater than or equal to 18, then you are eligible to vote. Now let me run this and check what exactly the output prints. Yes, eligible to vote because age is greater than 18. Similarly, if I write as 23, so even a person who is 23 and above is also eligible to vote, right? But when I write as 14, now I'll run it. It doesn't print anything. Now, like here, if you look, it doesn't print anything. Let me open new terminal and run the program. Now, check, like here, it doesn't print anything a, because a person who is below 14, below 18 cannot vote. So, to handle this, clear, a person below 18 years of age cannot vote. So, how do we handle? This can be handled via else statement. Else system dot out dot println, that is not eligible to vote. Clear? Now, like here we have a opening and closing parentheses for if as well as else, right? Now, if age is greater than 18 or equal to 18, then is eligible to vote, else is not eligible to vote. Clear? Now, let me run it. Yes. Now, I am 14 years and I am not eligible to vote. This is the case. So, we make sure that the program, your system understands what exactly the requirement is. And this can be possible via if control statement. If and the first one is if, and to handle the wrong cases, then we use if else. Clear? This is about if and if else control statement. Next, what you have is nested if. What do you mean by nested if? Imagine you're going to take an entrance exam. To have if you want to take an entrance exam, you must be having an admit card which is officially released from the government. Along with that, your college ID card is mandatory, right? Now let me comment it out. So you are taking a exam where Admit card is mandatory, right? Along with admit card, even what is mandatory? College ID card. College ID card is mandatory. Now, only if you have both, then the security will allow in the exam center. Initially, he will check the admit card, then he will check the ID card. Now, how do I write this statement? The first condition what I write is if admit card. And always remember, whatever condition you are writing here, that must be a Boolean condition. Clear? That must be a Boolean condition, either true or false. It can be via Boolean expressions, or even you can do it like this. Even this is correct. Age is greater than 18. So 14 is greater than 18. It is false. So it is 0. 0 is a Boolean value, right? So it will come to else. Similarly, here admit card is true. Okay, like here I made it as like why it is showing error int admit card. Okay, this must be of Boolean type. Then it is correct. Correct. Yes, this is of Boolean type. Boolean. Right? Now, if admit card. Now, this condition became true. Like if admit card is available, then I will check for ID card. Clear? Then I would check for ID card. Then if ID card is available from the student, then I will print the statement allowed to write the exam. Clear? Clear? So what is happening here? Initially, it will check if admit card is available in the student. So initially the security will check if admit card is available from the student. And since here we have set it as true, true means like it is available. True means 1 and false is 0. So if admit card is available, since it is true, like it will enter the next if. That is ID card. If ID card is available from the student, then it will print a statement allowed to write the exam. Clear? And always remember, nested if works only when the outer condition is true. If the outer condition itself is false, it will never enter the inner condition. Clear? Now let us run the program. Why it is showing error? Insert to complete class body, which is this. Okay, this is correct, and yeah, no issues. Let us run the program. Yes, allowed to write the exam because both the conditions have been satisfied. Now, admit card is there, right? Now, let us create a scenario. Admit card is there, the student, but he forgot to bring the ID card. This can be false. This can be false. Now, what I'll do? Admit card is there, but ID card is not available. So, what I'll write the statement? ID card is missing, right? Now, this is the statement. Admit card is available, but ID card is not available. So, ID card would be missing in such case. But when you have an ID card, but you do not have a admit card, then what will happen? You have your ID card, but admit card seems missing. So, what you will do? How you will handle this? Let us execute and see what it will provide. It doesn't provide anything because initial condition admit card itself is false. As I mentioned, the nested if will execute only when the first if condition goes true. If it is false, then it doesn't execute this block at all. So in such case, you have to handle the situation. So what you will do here? You'll create a other else statement. Clear? Where you'll write not allowed to write exam. Clear? Now let us run this. Yes, it is printing as not allowed to write the exam. So this is about nested if, right? Which will contain a if statement within another if statement. And always remember, if the initial if statement is true or if the initial statement matches, then it will go into the next if statement, else it doesn't go, else it doesn't execute. Clear? So this is about nested if. And next what you have is a ladder if. Let me comment it out. Next it is if else if or ladder if. Now what is this if else if or ladder if? Take an example of a grading system. If the score is above 85 and above, then it is scored as a almost equal to a topper, right? Similarly, if the score is between 75 to 85, then it is a distinction. Next, from 60 to 75, it is first class. Clear? And 35 to 50, it is a second class. Below 35, it is fail, right? Now, how how do I make my system understand about the grading system? It is possible via ladder if int marks equal to 85. So this is my main marks where grade 85 and above would be toppers, right? If marks greater than or equal to 90, then println, then it is toppers, right? Next, now, but here my marks is not greater than 90. Clear, it is 85. So what I'll do, I'll create a else if statement where it will contain marks greater than or equal to 80. I'll print it as distinction. Clear? Greater than 80. If I put as greater than 60, so this is there to handle where marks is greater than or equal to 60. It is first class, right? Else if marks greater than or equal to 50. Not 50, let us take it as 35 is a passing marks, right? Then it is a pass class. Clear? Now, if marks is not greater than 35, then for sure it is fail, right? So, here if you observe, let me, yes. So, like here if we observe, like here we have a multiple if statements, right? Here, all the if statement has the passing criteria in different ways. If greater than 90, then they are classified as a toppers. Greater than 80, then distinction. So what will happen? The condition, whatever I am giving, it will check with the if statement. Now, since the condition is false, so it will skip it. So the first condition statement is skipped, and the criteria or the condition will move to the next if else if statement, that is marks greater than or equal to 80. So the condition is true. marks is 85, so 85 is greater than or equal to 80. So distinction would get printed, right? Now, since this condition has evaluated, so since this condition has been executed, the next statements or the next conditions would be skipped. Got it? Here, what happens in ladder if or in if else if, it will check condition until it will match the, it will check all the condition until it it will check all the condition until it matches its original or the true statement. Clear? If true statement is not found, then immediately it will move on to else block. Now let me execute this. Let me zoom in little. Yes. Now, is it visible? Distinction has been displayed in the output because marks has been taken up in the second else if statement. Similarly, if I write as 50, then what would get printed? It will print as it will print as a pass class. Clear? It will check for the first condition, it is false. So it will move on to the else if second condition. Again it is false and it will move on to third condition. Again it is false. Next, when it is moving on to third condition, sorry, fourth condition, it will find a matching statement and finally it will print as a pass class. Yes, finally it got printed as a pass class. Now let us make this as clear. Now, in such case, it would print directly as a fail because none of the conditions are getting matched here. A ladder if is mainly used when you have a multiple conditions and the failure condition only matches a single condition, right? But the pass statements or the pass criteria, whatever condition you have, they have a different type to verify it. Clear? So, in this video, you have learnt about if else, nested if, and else if ladder. Thank you.